Welcome back, everybody, to our continuing series of how we solve problems on projections of solids using SolidEdge. The problem we are trying to handle now is of a square pyramid resting on the HP such that one of its lateral edges, the slant edge, is vertical. And we've also been told that the top view of the axis makes an angle of 45 degrees to the VP. So in order to speed up the process, I've already created the front and top views in the first stage, which is right here. So I'm going to select the whole thing, Control C to copy and to paste here so that I can continue with the second stage. So the question says the object is now resting on a corner. That means I draw the top view in such a way that the diagonal passing through the corner on which it rests, let's say the point C, is parallel to the XY. The reason we do this is because in the second stage, we would need to rotate the front view on that particular point. In order to do that, I select the front view in the first stage, use move with copy on to place it in the second stage, like that. Then I rotate the entire sketch with respect to the point C, such that the line C-O1- becomes vertical. That's it. That's the reason we make sure the point C is placed in such a way that the line or the diagonal passing through the point C is parallel to the XY. So with this, the front view of the second stage is complete, meaning all I need to do is create the top view in the second stage. So before we head there, we just need to make sure nomenclature is complete. So you have A, B, C has been marked. Then there's D. That means you have D dash here with D dash invisible, C dash is marked, and on the other end you have A dash. Okay. So with this done, all I need to do is project the top view. So I have the point A and A dash down here. Let's just stick to our regulations, make sure the construction and projector lines are as thin as they're supposed to, so 0.13 millimeters. Then the point B and D and O would be here. So this is D, this is O, and this is E. So I'm just going to draw the lines, but trim it when I need to. Oops. So this is something you can try if you're getting difficulty in drawing the lines absolutely to the right places. Just extend them a bit and trim them off when you need to. So obviously these two lines haven't met, so I'm going to use extend next. Extend the line, trim the stuff I don't need. So that's one half. The other half is going to come here. So again, as usual, I'm going to extend the tap. So with this, we can easily find what the points are. So this is the point A, this is the point C. This is the point D, and this is the point B, but O1 is going to be here, whereas O is going to be right where it used to be. So since we plot all the points, our next stage is going to get to darkening or thickening the regions we want to. So since the apex is closer to the observer rather than the base, we do not start off with darkening the base. We start off with darkening the boundaries. The boundaries are going to be A, B, O1, D, and A. Next thing we need to do is darken the longer edges. The longer edges here being the slant edges. So O1B is marked, O1C is already there because it's perfectly vertical. Then you have O1D, which is also marked. The only one that remains is O1A, which we mark like so. Okay. Next is finding out which is visible and which is not. So the point C will be invisible. So I'm going to mark C as it is an invisible point. Remember, C is invisible because the edge O1C is vertical, meaning that the point O1 is going to be directly above the point C, resulting it being a collinear line, meaning it is vertical. In the top view, it will appear as a point. So with this done, we just need to finish the final top view. The question says that the top view of the axis makes an angle of 45 degrees to VP. So our axis, identified by 001, is this way. So the top view of the axis here is going to be this particular portion, which you cannot see. So that is between O1 here in the second stage and O1, O and O1 in the second stage. Top view, that is the line that we're looking for. So O01 is now has to be rotated to 45 degrees with respect to the VP. So as usual, select the entirety of the second stage, use move, pick it up from one point, place it in another, use rotate, select the point here, select the other point and rotate it at 45 degrees. Make sure copy is off and place it. So all we need to do now is rotate. So we project to the top view. So I'm going to do that. So O1 to O1 up here. Again, line thickness is very, very important. Make sure you select and do the right things at the right time. So O1 and O up here. Sorry, O1 and O dash, then O and O dash. Here. So I'm going to mark the axis first. I'm going to identify the axis. Then the rest points you have A, there, A dash. Oops. Okay, I am comfortable solving with this without the nomenclature. That doesn't mean you can do the same in your exams as well. That is definitely going to result in a lot of problems. So I urge you to make sure all the nomenclature is perfectly complete before you actually start solving the problems. Okay, so the last thing I need to do is mark the point D, which shares the same objective as in P. So it's going to come here, stop. Okay. Once that's done, I have to identify whether the apex or the base is closer to the observer. So looking at it from here, we can see that. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, this is the final top view. So if the observer is here where the cursor is placed, the base is going to be closer to the observer rather than the apex. That means the entirety of the base is going to be visible. Okay, remember the point C is where the object is going to rest on the HP. So that is where I start from. So C is on the XY line, and here from C I go to B, then to A, then to E, and back to C. That gives me my base. Then I darken the boundaries, which is going to be from A to O1 and back to the point P. So that's it. So that basically covers all our thick continuous lines. The only thing that's remaining is the invisible lines. The invisible lines being the points, let's just name it for our convenience. This is A dash. This is C dash down here. P dash and T dash. Even which is no longer invisible. So I take away the brackets. So the only lines that I have to mark now are O1 and B and O1 and C. And clearly O1B is going to intersect the line AD, meaning that O1D cannot be a thick continuous line. It has to be an invisible line. So I'm going to mark it as an invisible line from the get-go. So from B dash to O1, same thing from B dash to C1. The only thing I need to mark now is the axis line, which appears as a chain link line like that. Okay. So once you've completed a problem, always go through the entire problem. Start from where you're supposed to. In this particular case, the object is inclined or to the HP or resting on the HP, meaning we start from the top view where we see the true shape. And because it's resting on a corner, we make sure the diagonal passing through the corner is perfectly parallel to the XY line. So get the top view. Then you name all the points in the top view. So you've got A, B, C, and D, and O1 and O. Once that's done, we project the front view. In the front view, you have to identify the height of the object and all the points in the front view, which we have done. Then we go on to the second stage in the front view, in which we provide the inclination to the HP. Here, in this particular problem, we haven't been given the inclination to the HP. All we have been told is that one of the slant edges is perfectly vertical. So what we did, we rotated the entire front view from the first stage, moved it to the second stage, and gave it the required angle. Next, from that sketch, we created the top view in the second stage. Okay, we named all the points, we projected all the points, and then we realized that O1C is the slant edge, which is supposed to be vertical, appears as a single point. Then the top view of the axis, OO1, now has to be inclined or rotated to 45 degrees as the question indicates. That we did in the third stage, so that we got third stage as a replica of the second stage in all fashion except orientation. All the dimensions will be the same. All we've done is rotated it. Once we've rotated the third stage, we've got to plot the front view in the third stage, which is a very simple procedure where we identify whether the apex or the base is closer. In this problem, we find that the base is closer. So we mark all the points in the top front view, darken only the base, that is A dash, B dash, C dash, and D dash. Then we darken the boundaries, which is going to be A dash, O1 dash, and D dash. Last stage is to darken, or rather mark the invisible edges, that is O1 dash, B dash, and O1 dash, C dash. These are invisible because two reasons. One, they are furthest away from the observer, which is a bit complication and involves all sorts of imagination. So we're going to follow procedure. Procedure says because O1B is going to intersect AD, that means one of O1B or AD has to be invisible. And since we definitely know AD is visible, O1B has to be invisible. So the same explanation carries over to the line O1C as well. So we mark that as invisible. Then we mark the axis line as a chain link line, that is a dash and a dot, and then we are complete. So a problem like this, like I said before, is going to carry 30 marks in the exam. Okay, we are going to make a short video after all the chapters in projections and computer engineering drawing has been completed to help you out. Okay, sorry. We are going to make a very short video, about 5-10 minutes, once we complete the portions for computer-aided engineering drawing. In that video, we'll describe what your question papers are going to be like, how you're expected to answer the questions, and how many marks are allotted to each question, and how you're supposed to write the answers, and so on. Okay. Until then, make sure you guys practice all the problems that your teachers have given you. If you have a doubt, talk to your respective class teachers and get them solved. Okay, we live in very strange times right now. It means that none of what we expect is really going to happen. As a teacher, I'm going to be frank and I'm going to tell you that we do not know what the next step is in terms of the examinations or your tests. So until we do that, your job is to listen to your lectures, learn what we are trying to teach you, and understand them. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.